Hey everyone, welcome to Otaku Talk. I'm your host OD. Before we start, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. I know it's been a hectic year, but hopefully going into 2021, everyone can achieve their goals and dreams and whatnot. Guys, we're here. We are at chapter 1000. It has been, over 2 decades of One Piece? I really can't believe, I got to see the day we are at chapter 1000 of One Piece, and I am super excited to review it. So without further ado, let's get into it. Before we begin, I just want to say I'm just so happy that we're here as a series. I think overall that there is a camp that either finds One Piece to either be complete garbage or, complete garbage / overrated or the greatest of all time. I am in that greatest of all time. In terms of specifically a shonen manga, I think the things that Oda has done, the tropes he has done, his writing, his storytelling, his world building, his foreshadowing have been like S+++ tier. I think he is a phenomenal mangaka, and I think that One Piece will go down in the annals of history as one of the greatest series to ever do it. That being said, however, chapter 1000 wasn't quite what I thought it was going to be. Slow down, not saying it was bad. I think it was still, a typically great One Piece chapter. However, I think we did this to ourselves as the fan community where we were like, oh my god, this needs to happen, this needs to happen, this needs to happen. Like I told you last week in my last review, I personally felt like that chapter could have been chapter 1000. In my personal opinion, I would have preferred it to have been chapter 1000. Does that mean this chapter was bad? Does that mean this chapter was lacking in stuff? Absolutely not. This is once again my personal opinion. I love One Piece no matter what. That being said, obviously if, the writing goes to shit one day or something like that, obviously, we'll have to reevaluate, revisit that opinion. But as of this moment, Oda truly can almost do no wrong for me. But I had a lot of expectations and things I wanted. I was like, oh, are we going to learn about the will of D? Oh, are we going to learn this secret? Are we going to get further exposition into Kaido's dragon fruit? And we didn't really get any of that. We did get something really phenomenal. I've said this in I think one of my earlier videos where I was saying that there are many types of chapters in One Piece, and you have some of the chapters where there's action happening, then you have setup chapters, then you have exposition chapters and all sorts of things. And so this chapter was pretty much a setup chapter. A lot of us and here's what happened. Basically, I think a lot of us wanted this to be like a definitive chapter. Instead, this chapter was more of the beginning of epicness. Let me just get into the chapter, talk about what happened in it, and we'll move on from there. So first of all, we start the chapter with the Three Musketeers, the homies, clearing the path for Luffy. This is the final floor. Finally, Luffy can ascend to the rooftop and deal with Kaido. This is the moment we've all been waiting for. And as you see it, Luffy just tells him, hey, I remember you guys. I remember what you guys have done. You guys are some real ones. I got you. And this is really important because people forget, Luffy is strong and whatnot, but Luffy is at his strongest when he is not only carrying his own will, but the will of others. And I think that's a really important theme in this story overall. Just not only completing your will, but continuing the will of friends, family, loved ones, and such like that. And so that's what he's doing, and that's why I think this fight is going to go a lot differently than it has before, because it's more than just Luffy. It's more than just his desire to be Pirate King. Yes, his desire to be Pirate King is, the most important, but don't forget that throughout the entire series, Luffy has always been about protecting my Nakama. And as he's traveled and made all these friends and allies, he's created this family that are important to him. Takes that in, boom, goes up to the rooftop, right? We flash back. We're back at Zoro. King has entered, okay? We didn't really get, I like how we didn't really, get an entrance from him. He's just there. That's cool. Marco tosses Zoro up, says, hey, I'll take care of this. You go do your thing. Awesome. So now we have a situation where it's pretty much King and Queen versus Marco. Now, obviously, it's not just going to be them. We still have X-Drake down there. We still have Robin down there. We still have Brooke down there. We still have Chopper down there. Chopper, however, is currently working on creating a cure, so do not expect him to get involved. I think Apu is probably most likely out of commission at this time. So Marco will be getting some much needed help. I would like to see him fight King. Originally, I would have really wanted Zoro to fight King, just because, you know, the whole keeping in line with the whole second in command thing. But it really seems like Oda is doing something completely different here. Originally, you know, I thought we were gonna do that breakdown of, you know, you have, you know, your number one, your number two, your number three, and then, you know, Luffy, Zoro, Sanji. But it really doesn't look like that. It seems like we're just kind of going off of, I don't have a particular like idea of like the theme, but it does look like it's going to be a 2v6, I believe. I believe it's 6 of them right now. And obviously they're all not going to hang the entirety of the match. I think it's going to really come down to probably something along the lines of Luffy, Law, and Zoro, and Kid. No, sorry. Luffy, Kid, and Zoro, and then maybe, you know, down eventually like Luffy will give the final blow. I kind of really wanted, you know, a one-on-one spectacle, kind of like Doflamingo, where, you know, you have, you know, in the Doflamingo fight, it was Law and Luffy versus Dofi. Then eventually Dofi took care of Law, and then Luffy had to take it home. It might look, I think this fight's gonna be something akin to that, something similar to that. Except now Luffy has a lot more help starting out. How do we feel about this? Is this going to cheapen his victory? Does this really mean he's stronger than them? I don't know. I'm just, I can't wait to like just see it out. Just, I'm positive that Oda will not leave us hanging, that this will be a satisfactory end. Anyway, moving on. We have Momo talking to Yamato, and she's sharing the journal that Oden has, and looks like she's bequeathing it to him, which makes, you know, makes a lot of sense. This is Oden's kid. He deserves to have it. He deserves to read the adventures of his father that he, you know, he barely got to know. I don't think he ever really got to spend much time with his father. So I think this was very touching and meant a lot. And then you have Yamato, you know, she's almost, you know, pretty much tearing up because, you know, she's having flashbacks of her conversation with Ace, and from what we've seen, you know, she really got attached to Ace. Like, she really had a bond. She really had a clear, you know, connection with him. They you know, they had similar situations, fathers that, like, really big high up fathers that they just honestly didn't want to aspire to be like. Ace for his reasons, Yamato for her reasons. And like, but she really truly found like a friend, a nakama in Ace. And, you know, about the whole don't laugh at Luffy, like me and Sabo, like we laughed at him, but like he's our brother, no one else can laugh. And she's like, I would never laugh at someone who would say they'd be the Pirate King. I literally watched the Pirate King say these same things and then go on to become the Pirate King. So she's like, I'm not the one to behave in that manner. And like, I just love this like character building, these nice little scenes. They may not mean a lot, and like I said, I expected some other more, like, you know, concrete, more physical stuff, but like these are still good. These little mini moments and like character interactions are part of what make the series so intrinsically rich, right? So I'm really excited about that. Something super interesting that like was kind of just brushed past was Yamato, while Ace and her were talking, was creating a Vivier card for him. And my question is, are we going to get more exposition on that? We have, since it was introduced in Alabasta, always wondered how exactly Vivier cards were made, correct? And so far, one thing we found out is that you need a piece of like the person that you're trying to make a Vivier card of. So, you know, a fingernail, hair, I believe, something like that. So that was something very interesting to see. So the fact that Yamato can make Vivier cards seems like something that's going to be important down the road. I think she's probably going to make all of these Straw Hats Vivier cards. If not all the Straw Hats, maybe I'm being excessive. If not all the Straw Hats, definitely at least Luffy. So that'll be good. Even though I feel like, didn't Luffy have a Vivier card made a little earlier in the series? Possibly. Please let me know. I forget. But I don't know. I don't think this is just a throwaway scene. I mean, yes, part of the reason it was shown was for us to know how she found out Ace died. His Vivre card disappeared, so bada bing, bada boom. But I do think it's going to hold a higher purpose. Now, we finally get to the part of the chapter that I really want to talk about. Kaido and Big Mom versus Luffy, Zoro, Kid, Killer, and Law. I believe it's just the 5 of them. I said 6 before, it's the 5 of them. In case any of you are wondering, like, hey, where did Law come from? Don't forget, he can easily, like, teleport with his powers and get from A to B, because, like, what? He was in the basement, right? So everyone's like, how did he get from the basement to the top at the same time? Don't worry. It's not like, it's not, a plot hole or anything like that. This is just, it's something established that, like, Law can do. Law can do these things because of his power. And so I'm very excited to see how this goes. I'm really surprised. I can't tell. It doesn't seem as though the scabbards are dead, but, some of them are barely hanging on. I did predict a couple of them would die. It's still not too late for that. So I just think this scene shows incredible growth from Luffy. Not that, like, he hasn't done anything like this in particular before, but I just love how calm he is. We all know Luffy to be erratic, sporadic, and just kind of like come out the cut, swinging and punching, like, I'm gonna beat you up, I'm gonna mess you up. But, like, and this is terrifying, there's a calm rage. You can look in the panels and there's just this very calm, just sort of like, and that is one of the scariest types of people aren't the ones that explode or get angry or, like, scream or yada yada, because while they're enraged, they're calm and calculated. Previously, Kaido clocked the ever-loving hell out of Luffy. And all of us wondering, well, why didn't he dodge it, blah, 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 blah. Because, Luffy wasn't thinking. We learned from the Katakuri fight that, like, having really, really good observation haki is, having concentration and being, calm is very important for that. And so now we're seeing that, okay, Luffy isn't here to play. He's not here to joke around. He's going to take this serious. And I love this scene. It's very reminiscent of, I think it's reminiscent of this one scene where I think Goku, man, it has been so long. I apologize. I used to know, like, this stuff off the top of my head. But there's this one scene where I think Goku shows up, and I think either one of someone's lackeys. I think this is one of the Ginyu Force or something. Are they on Nappa maybe? Show up and try to hit him, and just like Goku just teleports over to, I think, Krillin and Gohan. I think Krillin just got really messed up, and he's like, "Are you okay?" Gives him a sensu beam, and then pops him, teleports him away somewhere, gets him to safety, and he's like, "I'll be right back." It was kind of like that where Luffy shows up. He's like, "You good? You good?" Checks on, "You good, my mans?" Checks on his fam. "Y'all good? Y'all good? Y'all good? All right, bet. Don't worry. I'm here now. I got this. I'll take care of it." And so I also love this because, like, it was so, like, assertive of him, and, like, really, really showcasing of someone who would have Conqueror's haki. And he's basically not pleased, or, I mean, I know they're allies, but just for him to be like, "Ayo, Law, like, take them down." And, like, Law's just like, "Got you." Teleports him down. Boom. Now we're ready to fight. And I think this is what made the chapter for me. Once again, we didn't get anything major. Well, there is something at the very end. I will talk about that. But, like, we're getting an establishment of the mood, the set, the tone. As we went through this chapter, we saw Luffy kind of reminiscing and having flashbacks of, like, all the people that are here and how they have suffered, and, like, the will and determination they had, especially when they didn't want to reveal Raizo and everything that went with that. And so, like, I just think that, like, in Luffy right now, it's just this burning cold rage that is just like I said, once again, just the will of everyone that has been affected by Kaido and Big Mom. And now he just gets to, like, step up and just physically put it all out. And I'm very, very excited. And the highlight of this chapter, we see a new move from Luffy, Red Rock. It's basically the Gear 3rd version of Red Hawk, and it was beautiful. I cannot wait till it's animated. For those of you that don't know, or for some reason, wherever you read the manga from, if you didn't already see, a rock is some kind of mythical bird, right? So we went from Red Hawk to Red Rock. So that's really good. I wonder if he used Ryu Haki in it, but all we know is that not only did this hit connect with Kaido, but if you ask me, it looked like that shit hurt. Red Rock is a great ass name because that dude got motherfucking rocked. I think it's a great way to start a quote unquote war. I cannot wait to see these guys go into action. We have about like, almost half, not quite, but like, almost half of the supernovas here. Really strong, powerful pirates. I can't wait to see how teamwork comes into play with these fights, what everyone else has to bring, because don't forget, it's not just Luffy. Everyone else has been part of this for a long time. I'm sure everyone else has skills and techniques that they've learned and mastered during their time that they're itching to show off, as well as things they want to get off their back, especially someone like Kid and Killer, who like Killer had to eat the smile fruit and now he's doomed to smile forever. And then Kid lost probably a lot of his crew. Well, lost his arm to Shanks, but he was in prison, so he has a lot of beef. I am more excited for chapter 1001 than I was for this chapter. Anyway, that's about it. I really wish there was more I could talk about, but like I said, this just seemed really like a setup chapter. Once again, I want to make it clear, it was not bad in the slightest. I didn't hate it, but this wasn't that pizzazz I wanted, and I think some of you guys might understand where I'm getting at with that. Anyway, please like, share, subscribe. I have a lot of things I plan on bringing forward in the new year. I apologize. I have truly been slacking in my amount of content. I'm a content creator who has honestly not been making that much content, and I apologize for that. Long story short, I've been getting in my head. I have anxiety about stuff, and I've been seeing all these YouTubers who just seem so good at what they do. In my opinion, like they're my supernovas, right? And if I want to be like the Luffy of like One Piece content and just anime content, I just have to believe in myself and have to go with like everything I have, because this is really something I want to do. And so like I do plan on like rereading the entirety of One Piece and like trying to pump out more content and starting to write more scripts. I've never been someone that writes scripts. I think my talent lies predominantly in like having a conversation and going on a tangent about things, because that's what I prefer to do. I don't like to sit down and like, all right, blah blah blah. But if this is something I want to do, these are things I have to do, and I'm willing to do it. Anyway, please like, share, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts. What do you think is going to happen in the later chapters? Do you think any of the scabbards are going to die? You think any of the supernovas are going to die? There's so many possibilities here. Anyway, I would love to have a conversation on where you think the rest of this fight is going. Anyway, signing out. This has been Otaku Talk with your host, OD. Take care.